Hello and welcome to Whisky Resource. My name is Mark. This is review number 51 and this is actually going to be a double review. Review 51, it's two whiskies. So I am going to do two whiskies from the Swedish Distiller Mackmyra. These particular samples were provided by Stuart over at WhiskyWhims, the other YouTube channel. So if you haven't checked out WhiskyWhims previously, I'll be putting a link down in the description. Go and check him out, and please subscribe. He produces some amazing content and he adds a level of humour to his videos that I fail to get anywhere near. So Mackmyra, I've never tried it before. There's been a couple of Mackmyras supplied as part of the Summerton Whisky Festival that I've talked about in previous videos. However, I've not actually got around to trying those two yet. So I've got a couple more Mackmyras that we'll be reviewing in later episodes, but today I'm going to be reviewing one of their core releases and one of their I think they call them seasonal releases. I'm just going to click back into the website and have a quick look. Yeah, a seasonal range. So the first one I'm going to be looking is going to be part of their core range, which is the Mackmyra Brukswhisky. So it's supplied by Stuart over at WhiskyWhims. So you can check him out at WhiskyWhims, and he's on Instagram at whisky_whims. Mackmyra Brukswhisky. So a little bit about this. It's bottled at 41.4% ABV. It is retailing online, although when I did look, it was out of stock everywhere. But it retails online at an average retail price of £38.95. I can't find anything about any of the Mackmyra ranges that I've got here to try today about chill filtration or colour, but I think it's safe to say, looking at that hasn't got any colour in it. But unfortunately I do have to dock points off simply because I can't find that information. So if I can find the information, or if somebody can clarify, then I will certainly reimburse those points that I'm deducting. But for the fact that it is a non-age statement whiskey retailing for £38.95, I can't say about chill filtration or colour. It gets a value score of 83.53 out of 100. So that's just an indicator of whether it's a good value whiskey or not. The higher the points, closer to 100, the better the value it is. So this particular whiskey, I want to do it all in because it's only a small pour. These bottles are only 25ml. So this is a blend from, and they do give you a breakdown, that's all credit to Mackmyra, a blend of a 200 litre first fill bourbon, which was matured for 5 years, and then in 100 litre of Swedish oak, and then 100 litre sherry cask, and then 200 litres of ex-bourbon cask, which has got a peaty influence to it. So that's 600 litres goes into a particular batch that's vatted together and bottled. So let's go ahead with the tasting. I don't think there's much more to say. They do produce a product leaflet which you can download from their website as promotional material, and all they've got to say about it is that it's got balanced character with fruity and butterscotch nose. It's clean, light, spicy, fruity. Enjoy it with or without ice. And that's really about it. So on the nose, what do we get? Well, it's fruity definitely, and I'm getting pear drops immediately. It's pear drops. That kind of artificial fruit sweetness almost. So by that I mean it's a fruit sweetness, but there's some kind of a chemical ester, if you want to pronounce it, in the background. It is nice. It's not like a dangerous chemical smell. It's a inviting smell. But yeah, definitely pear drops. Bit of oakiness, a little bit of citrus. There's some kind of a herbal thing going on there. It's not a spice. Could be a spice. Mint. I'm definitely getting mint as well. That's a nice nose. It's pleasant. It's different. There's a different nose on the palate. Not at all challenging. It's very refreshing. It's very summery, very light. Tiny bit spicy at the end, on the finish. It's fruits, citrus, butterscotch. Butterscotch could be toffee. It's buttery. It's got a buttery. It's very silky. I'm actually going to pour the rest of that in the bottle, because I want to try and revisit this later on. So good luck with this pour. We'll see what happens here. Well, that was half a success. I recovered a bit of it, and my leg's a bit wet now. Okay, so Mackmyra Brukswhisky. £38.95. Don't really see them discount their stuff much. I am subscribed to their newsletter, and there was an offer that they were putting out beginning of this month for 5 bottles of their whiskey, a couple of bottles of their gin that they do, as well as there was something else they were putting in the mix. It was £199, which I didn't think was a particularly bad price. And then I found another email offer they were putting out, which was £240, but it was I think it was 6 versions of their different whiskies. They do release quite a wide range of whiskey, so I am intrigued by them, certainly after trying this. In terms of a score, it's nice. It's pleasant. I couldn't see myself going to grab it off the shelf. There's not enough going on there. There's not enough complexity. Whilst it is an enjoyable palate and nose better than the palate. Probably give that an 84 as an overall score, which kind of matches their value score. So there we go, 84 for Mackmyra Brukswhisky. So the next one I've got on the list is part of their seasonal range, and it is the Mackmyra Grönt Te. So this is bottled at a slightly higher ABV of 46.1%. Again, I don't know anything about chill filtration or colour. So I'm going to pop across to my website, because Mackmyra Grönt Te was one that I actually listed on there, and I'm going to give you the detail. So it has an average retail price of £52.95. And as I say, don't know anything about chill filtration or colour. It gets a value score of 86.48, so it actually scores higher for value, and that is helped by that ABV. Even though it's a more expensive bottle, £52.95, the ABV being 46.1, which is the kind of magic number that we want entry whiskies to land at, that helps it along. Well, this is an odd one when it comes to what actually makes this particular whiskey up. It is a blend of first fill bourbon, first fill Swedish oak matured, and Oloroso sherry finished. So it's the same as the previous one, the Brukswhisky. However, to make this slightly different, it also all goes into a green tea barrel. Green tea, Japanese green tea. So if you head to the Mackmyra website, which is mackmyra.com, you can go to mackmyra.com, Mackmyra. You can find out a bit more about them. But this particular whiskey, the Grönt Te, spelled Grontte, is in 2019 the master blender Angela was honoured. We don't have a surname, we just get Angela. Angela was honoured. Angela could be the surname. Man and woman, who cares? Was honoured by being elected into Whisky magazine's prestigious Hall of Fame. A tribute manifested in this whisky. Mackmyra Grönt Te is inspired by two of Angela's passions in life: travelling to new cultures and bringing innovative combinations, flavours and senses to life. The result is a Swedish single malt whisky that has been finished in newly saturated ex-Oloroso casks. I forgot to mention that the previous one, the Brukswhisky, is a single malt also. So it's a blend of Oloroso wine and the finest vintage Japanese green tea leaves that have seasoned the casks, providing a subtly spicy and flavourful whisky with a fruity and floral finish. The whisky is noses of fine vanilla, green apples and herbal green tea. Green tea is light amber in colour with subtle red reflections and great to enjoy on any occasion. And then it goes into the different tea leaves that they actually use. I'm going to fail miserably at this because these are Japanese. They're in English, but they're Japanese pronunciations, so I'm going to fail. Yami Sencha, Yami Gayokura, Karoibo Hojikya, Yami Matcha Shinobi. One of my cousins lives out in Japan, works at university as a professor, and I'm sure he will be shaking his head at me at that really bad pronunciation. Hey-ho. Okay, so it sounds interesting. This one did intrigue me when I saw that a whiskey was finished in green tea barrels. Very bizarre. Very bizarre. So again, I've not had this one. It's sealed, provided by Stuart over at WhiskyWhims. Thank you very much, Stuart. I hope you're getting on well with the samples I sent you. So I sent whiskey samples to Stuart. He hadn't experienced any of the Glen Scotia Festival releases. So I sent him the 2018, 19 and 2020 Campbelltown Malt Festivals, the Brew Report, the Rum Cask Finish and this year's Tone Report. I sent him samples of them, as well as a few other. So here we go. So I've kept a bit back in the bottle this time because, well, I want to try these a bit later on. Okay, so on the nose. It's got a similar, it's got a character. The character is similar to the previous one. Fruity, pear drops. Vanilla. It's quite a dry nose. It does have sweetness to it, but it's a very delicate sweetness. Bit of spice. It is a more floral nose, but on the palate. It's fruity. I wouldn't say it's amazingly sweet. It's probably more of a dry sweetness. I'm just going to hold that thought a moment because something came to my mind then. But it's grape, pear, apple, spice. Not like a cinnamon or a nutmeg or a cardamom or any of those kind of spices. I'm not sure what the spice would be, how I would describe it. Vanilla, lemon. But then, if you breathe in, after you've got the last bits on your tongue, you get a nice dry white wine. I'm trying to think, like almost Chardonnay. It is dry and bitter, but not overly bitter. It's quite pleasant. I don't think it's 46. What did I say it was? £52.95. I don't think it's £52.95 worth, but it is unique. I don't think I'd pay more than £40 for it if I was to buy a full bottle. I would certainly buy, if they did a 200ml taster pack, let's say, of maybe 3 of their bottles, and maybe it was pitched around £50 for 3 bottles, I could get on board with that, because you're experiencing a range of different products for the same price as maybe a little bit more volume in a bigger bottle of one. I could get on board with that, even though I'm getting less liquid for the same money, but I wouldn't pay £52.95 for it. In terms of overall score, it's nice, it's different. There's something unique about it, and I think it's something that you probably need to drink a little bit more of to fully understand. The nose isn't. It's weird because the Brunt whiskey had a great note, and the palate wasn't quite matching the nose. With this one, the nose is the letdown, but the palate is better. If I could combination of both of them, spot on. So I'm gonna give it an overall score of 85. I think it just edges out the Brooks whiskey. So I'm making note of that, of the Grönt Te, and that's the Brooks whiskey. So that's it. That's a double review provided by Stuart at WhiskyWhims, and Mackmyra, Brooks whiskey, and Mackmyra. It's getting late. Grönt Te, which is a green tea finished Swedish whiskey. So I've just tried Swedish whiskey for the first time. New horizons and all that. That's yeah. So the two I've got to do are what would be the more prestigious range, the Moment range, and they retail for quite a bit more money than the ones I've just reviewed. I've got bigger samples of them, so I may have a taster before I do a review. I may do the review on camera without previously tasting them. We'll see. But Mackmyra, definitely one to look out for. I'm going to enjoy finishing these off and seeing whether those scores are going to change at all. Cheers.